Nation Cowboy headquarters and America's team. And here we are, G, the number one Cowboy fan, Hampton, along with my guy, Football Junkie. Give it up. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about that banner. I'm gonna change it right now. Bam! There we go. Here we are. Monday Night Mike, though. One more time. What's up, Football Junkie? How you doing today, brother?
Man, I'm doing fabulous, man. Finally recouped from the weekend, family reunion. Yeah.
Woo!
And what we saw with the Cowboys and everything, the success they had offensively and some success they had defensively.
Tell me about it. Yeah, if y'all don't know, we are related, okay? And we have got some things in common. We are cousins. That's right, we are cousins. And we had a wang dang doodle in East Texas. Big shout out to my cousin Graylin Rao. You know, he's waiting on his jersey. He's waiting on some things. Let me show what I got for Graylin when I do get down. As a matter of fact, I got this right here. I got his own terrible tile, or his Cowboy Huddle podcast tile here. We got that, and I got some other things. I got a couple. Where's my stickers? I got my stickers. So, Graylin, I got some things coming your way. Big shout out to Mario. Big shout out to Gary George. Big shout out to the Osborne Edwards family. We had a blessed time over the weekend. All right, man. And, you know, we didn't get a chance to really get the chance to look at the game in depth because we had a lot of things. We was out of town, but we got a chance to look at a little bit of what was going on with our team. But we're going to get into it. Well, let's do this here real quick. Let me see. I think I can share this right quick. But yeah, Cowboys win. Cowboys win. Let's see if we can get this here. Where is it at? Boop, 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 boop. There it is. Boom. There it is. Let's see if we can put it. There we go. All right, y'all just bear with me for a minute. Here we are. So the final score, 37-22. 37-22. Give it up for the Cowboys. Let's get a little bit into the stats real quick, man. But listen, I want you to see something here, Football Junkie. We scored in every quarter. We scored in every quarter.
Oh, yeah.
Every quarter we scored. That's something that doesn't happen a lot. So Here we are. We sit 2-2-1. Again, you know what I think about a tie. A tie is like a two of diamond or a two of spade in the game. Card of spades. That's what I remember. It works absolutely nothing to us. And that's my wife calling. Why don't she call? Anyway, I'm in trouble.
Gary, G and fans, that's an infamous 2-2-1, really, to be honest with you all. It's an infamous 2-2-1 because we allowed the Eagles to get away. We allowed us to end up in a shady overtime situation. So really, we can really pat ourselves on the back in the essence, but still though we still got an uphill battle to go with this defensive side of things as we continue our journey with Eberflus and what he's trying to do with the defense and whatnot. But it's an infamous 2-2-1. It really is. I feel like if we wouldn't have allowed the Philadelphia Eagles to do what they did offensively and also allow Green Bay Packers to do what they done offensively, I feel like we could easily be sitting right on top of the heap right now at 4-1. We really could be.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too. Also, Football Junkie, I have to say as well, because the thing about us, we didn't allow our starters to play in any preseason game. Okay, so it's like these first three games, as every year, it takes us 3 games to kind of get the motor running, getting everything kind of coming together as a unit. So, I think that had a lot to do with it. So hopefully, again, we talk about the Jets. The Jets are, man, they're just having a hard time right now, man. And but again, I'm like you. This was a good tune-up game for me. I don't know. I don't know if you look at it as a tune-up game, but personally, I looked at it as a tune-up game. What do you think?
Yeah, I kind of can. Yeah, you can say it's you can look at it like that. You can reflect back on yesterday's game as a tune-up game, and add to retrospect, spend more so for the defensive unit as a whole too. Uh, but we still have that one Achilles heel that we're still dealing with is we still coming down with injuries
Yeah,
defensively, and it's just one thing we just got to shape, man, before we get into that home stretch of the season. And I feel like within the next few weeks, if we can get it together and we can get some key instrumental pieces on our defense, especially in the secondary back and healthy, and Overshown as well, because he's desperately needed. If we can get these key individuals back, I feel like that whatever Flus is doing will probably be better transcended with those guys.
yeah. And we're going to get into those injuries too. That's the whole. That's this the whole. This is what the whole show is about: the injuries and having the backups come in and step up. But let's. I want to get into these stats a little bit more, and we're gonna get right into that what we're talking about. So I mean, dude, Dak for 18 for 29 for 237 yards, only four
4
TD,
TDs,
four TDs.
tutties.
Let's go a little further down. We're talking about Javante Williams. Javante Williams has 16 carries for 135 yards with a rushing touchdown.
That's
Okay.
the game.
I mean, this guy's on it. And then we have Ryan Flanoy. Ryan Flanoy is one I talked about, and I've been saying I always like Ryan Flanoy. Watching him in the training camps, I always felt that if he just got a chance, that he could probably make some waves. And I think we saw that he has 6 catches for 114 yards. I mean, that's that's making a statement. You think?
Yeah, that's making that was his breakout game yesterday, man. It really was because I seen him. They ran some plays with Ryan Floyd that we normally would see done with CD Lamb, or maybe even Turpin. Some end around plays, handoffs in the backfield and whatnot. He really stepped up big for us yesterday and allowed the opposing defense to really, really start focusing in on him, and it
Yeah,
took away some of the attention away from Pickens as well, where he was able to be effective in the game too. And then
yeah,
Fergie, Fergie got loose, man. Fergie
yeah.
got
But
loose
give it up for
yesterday,
Fergie, man.
man.
Man, yeah. It just seems like this offense, man. This offense, and and I know Brian's been around Dak a while, and I know he's been basically evaluating Dak and watching what the do's and don't is what you can and can't do with Dak, and it just seems like Dak is more comfortable in this offense. It seems like this offense fits him. I hadn't seen Dak play like this since he became his first time in the professional league, and we got his shot, and we went 13-3. So it's good to see Brian and Clayton Adams and Connor Riley all come together to create this offense that's actually carrying this defense at this time. But this is what I really wanted to talk about is we have so many injuries, football junkie, and it was scary. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" I mean, I don't know what this is going to be like with that many. 4 out of 5 starters are on the injury reserve.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say injury list. I'm not gonna say injury reserve. We'll say injury list. 4 out of the 5. So that means we have Brock Hoffman in at center. We got T.J.
mm-hmm,
Bass at guard. We got
mm-hmm,
Nate Thomas at tackle, and then we
mm-hmm.
have wow, who is that on the other side? Ajanti, I think that's who it was.
Johnson.
Yeah, I think he was the one that came in, and then you had Terrence Steele. But the
Mm-hmm.
thing about what I want to say, about that is these guys' numbers were called and they did not fail.
Yeah.
They did not fail.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, I understand that this is the Jets, but at the same time, we have to give kudos to this front line. Missing 4 out of 5, and you continue to be able to move the ball downfield to protect your quarterback and run the ball. What do you think
Yeah.
about that, man? I mean, that's
I,
bananas.
I, that's. I mean, that goes to show that we have quality depth on our offensive line first and foremost.
Fact.
Uh, and that's something we haven't had in years. Quality depth on the
Mm,
offensive line. You basically got the second team offensive line all the way across the board starting. Basically, been starting for a week and a half, 2 weeks now, and not too many teams can say they got that type of quality depth up front to protect the quarterback and also can push the pile for the running back to run behind them and get the type of yardage that he's getting. I mean, they're not missing a beat. And Williams is not missing a beat neither because it's not showing. Because if you look at the past few years with our offensive line, where would we be right now?
yeah. We'll be throwing it 50 times. We'll be throwing 50 times without
And
a run
and and
game.
and and exactly without a running game, and it'd be an abysmal situation for Dak.
Very dismal.
It really
With a
would
few
be.
sacks.
Okay, okay, okay. They be saying this Dallas Cowboys offensive line is atrocious. They're averaging 3, 4 sacks a game, maybe more. I mean, we're sitting at week 5 of the football season, 2-2-1, and we're dealing with these type of injuries, not just on defense, because we started that compiled at the beginning of the season. But
Yeah.
now, you know what I'm saying? It's offense is nicked up and banged up from the
Yeah.
offensive
See,
line to the wide receivers and stuff
yeah.
like that to the offensive backfield. You know,
Yeah.
we nicked and banged up. We're licking wounds. And it's at a point where I'm like, wow.
Yeah, and it's early in the season, so and to see them maintain, like I said, we got to also mention CD Lamb. CD Lamb is not in there. Turpin is not in there. Just have
Yeah.
to have Ryan Flanoy step in, and then Jalen Tolbert step in, and we continue to drive with this offense. Man, says a lot. So I have to say, the greatest addition, along with Brian Schottenheimer, has to be Clayton Adams and
Mhm.
and Connor Riley. So with that being said, I want to play an audio of what Brian Schottenheimer had to say about Clayton Adams. Let's get into it real quick.
Ted, are you on this? Ted, are you on this?
He's a official arm of the PR staff now. Anyway, Clarence Hill, DLS Cowboys. Um, Clayton Adams, and what he's done. You just talk about the importance of he and Connor with the offensive line to get these guys ready. But last night you readily said you've never seen having to start 4 backups up front. And I know we've been around here where one backup up front, they couldn't get anything done.
Yeah.
And you guys are able to perform so well with 4 backups up front.
Well, first of all, I think even before I go into that, I mean, Clayton, number one's a excellent football coach. He has a tough job when you're the coordinator for a guy that's the head coach and the play caller. I've lived it with Mike. It can be hard, right? Because there's things that you think and you believe, and you're kind of like, no, and sometimes we say that, you're like, no, we're not doing that. But so easy to work with. And then again, he's just, God, he loves it, man. He loves coaching O-line. He's in there every chance he gets. But again, really the day-to-day stuff, it's the fundamentals, man. It's what they do in the classroom, not just teaching scheme, but the fundamentals. Offensive line is that unique position, Clarence, because there's so many guys that have to work together. And, we didn't run the ball great yesterday. I mean, we had 9 runs, I think, that went for 2 yards or less. But why was that? Well, our fundamentals were off a little bit. But as the game went on, they got better. And so when I sit in their meetings, I listen to them talk about hand placement and footwork and, strain and eyes under the chin and things like that. That's the stuff that as a head coach you get really excited about, because I'm a believer of fundamentals. And that goes back to my days of coaching quarterbacks and training quarterbacks, is if you don't talk about fundamentals, I don't know how you're going to get the most out of your players. And they've done that.
Don't settle.
Come on, give it up. Fundamentals, man.
Yeah,
Fundamentals. So I think the greatest addition was bringing Clayton Adams and Connor Riley on board to this offense, man. And it's really showing. And if we can just get this defense caught up with this offense, man, I think we have a better chance. But yeah, that's where we are, man. So it's fundamentals, football junkie, right?
fundamentals, man. I really can say this, man. With having 4 out of 5 backups in there, like we did yesterday, we was low on penalties from the offensive line standpoint. We was very low on penalties. Really,
Very low.
very low.
That's
And
saying a lot.
that said a lot. And not to take the the kudos away from the offensive line or anything like that, but let's Pickens pick up his a great acquisition, man. Because if we didn't have a number one opposite of a number one, being that we done lost a number one A, and got one B stepping in, I mean, it might have created a situation where these guys that's other receivers and stuff and whatnot, other receiving core, might not allow the stage to might have the stage affect them a little bit. But being that
Mhm.
the attention is not on them, more of the attention is more on Pickens than it is on them, more than
Yeah,
anything. So they don't have to worry about the big lights. All they got to do is go out there and perform, catch the ball, make some plays, and that's what Ryan Valor did. That's what Tolbert done. They came in there and made plays. They contribute. They
yeah,
really did.
yeah. They
And
did.
and it goes to another testament to Dak Prescott. You know, this dude knows how to spread the love.
Yeah, yeah. Man,
He
I'm
feeds
shocked.
everybody.
I'm shocked. It means a lot, and you know, and you're saying a lot about because we're focused on this offense. We bash the defense so many times, and we'll do that on Wednesday. But let's talk about this offense. So what you have players that fit the personnel of these coaches. Okay, you have the personnel that fits. Let me say it like this: you have the personnel that fits the coaching scheme. That makes a big difference when it comes to trying to implement certain types of scheme. You know, when we look on this other side of the ball, we just don't know what we got going on over. But over here on this side, it's you can tell that the personnel fits the scheme along with Clayton Adams. And now we know that Clayton Adams is the coordinator, offensive coordinator, and Brian Schottenheimer is the play caller. Like he said, it's hard for a coordinator, trying to call a play and then the head coach trump them and say, "Hey, no, we're not doing that." So, but they're working together hand in hand along with Connor Riley. Connor Riley has his hands all over this as well. So this is what we're focusing on what we saw. Yeah, true enough, you can say it was the Jets, but when you take 4 backups and bring those guys in and call their number and put them on the field and they hold it down, you got to give them their props. Give it up for that front
Yes,
line.
sir.
That's what it's all about, man. That's how the game is won. The game is won in the trenches, man. So, yeah, and so I'm excited, but I do want to say this: 29 seconds left in the game, and Javonte Williams breaks 66 yards. Now I keep saying it all the time. I keep telling you folks, wait a minute now, you just can't give out number 33 to just anybody. You can't do it. And I was like, who is this guy with this number 33 jersey? But you know what? I think you know what? I think he's gonna wear it well. He's gonna wear it well.
Okay, I'm gonna throw this out there right quick. Uh, when it comes to the Jets, everybody's been in a wrestling match with the Jets except for the Cowboys and the Buffalo Bills.
Say that again.
Everybody's been in a wrestling match. When it comes to the New York Jets this season, since the beginning of the season up until the Cowboys,
Mhm.
everybody's been in a wrestling match
I
with the
heard
Jets
that.
except
Yeah.
for the Cowboys. So it's not taking away. We're not taking nothing away from the Jets. The Jets is a
Decent
team
team.
that is on a fresh
Yeah.
a upstart. They rebuild in a rebuilding phase. So
Okay.
that really says a lot for the Jets because the only 2 teams that they hadn't had to wrestle with was the Cowboys. Cowboys, and nobody thinks too much of the Cowboys. And then nobody didn't think the Cowboys were gonna take them boys out to the shed like that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure, and
So
that's so true. and and
hey,
and and, and you're right. You're right. I think the thing with the Jets is there's the penalties that's killing a man, and they just again, like you said, they're going through a transition. But no, we can't just overlook the Jets because someone else had mentioned that these the past few games that they were in was in dog they were dog fights that they were
yeah,
in, and so again, it just we would just so happen to prevail and make some issue. So let me ask you this, and we're gonna get on out of here. So is the Jets offense that bad, or did our defense improve?
a defense improved. I have to say the defense did. They marginally improved because you just think about it now. Jalen Fields could do a hat trick on you.
Yeah,
He can pull a hat trick on you. Brees Hall can pull a hat trick on you.
yeah.
Okay. And let's not forget about the wide receivers they got over there
Wilson.
too. Wilson. They got a couple of guys over there. They got some talent over there. Then I'm not going to take away from Taylor, the tight end. They got some players. They got some key fundamental players on their offense that will hurt you. And
Right.
they can impact the game in various different ways. Uh, yes, we was loose in the secondary. Yes, we was loose in various plays throughout the game. We need to tighten up on our tackling, especially right
Uh,
there at the point of contact when it comes to dealing with running backs and whatnot. Because Brees Hall showed you what Brees Hall could do, and Brees Hall was trying to warm up, but they maintained him.
yeah,
They maintained him. He had 3 big runs,
yeah,
but
yeah,
the defense is it's I say they kicked it up a notch. We see more out of Flowers this past weekend.
yeah.
As we see James, then as we see our very own Troy Palomalo at linebacker. You know, um, uh, I
Little
mean,
foul.
Louisville. I mean,
Yeah,
it's players. On our defense, this is really starting to step their game up.
yeah,
Really, it's they look it look like it's starting to click, but we gonna see.
yeah.
We're gonna
And
see.
I'm glad you brought up Shamura James because that is one I definitely want to give a big shout out to. Man, he had an opportunity to step in because Jack Sanborn went down. But
Mm-hmm.
again, man, the way this guy flies to the ball and he's not afraid to hit, and I think
No,
that's what we've been missing. Is these guys coming down the hill and making these tackles. But I know it's hard to make tackles when you're dropping back in zone. But Shamar James is one that I really think we need to see more of. I think we need to see more of Maurice Luafau on the field. And then when Overshown is well, let Overshown get back in there and let these three youngsters play along with Donovan Ezeraku. Bring the
mm-hmm.
youngsters in, and also gonna say this: I like the way young Wanye Thomas played at the safety
Yeah,
position.
yeah.
So, um, you know, I know we got these 1 year contract guys in here, but let the youngsters play. Bring
Let
Jay
them play.
Thoya. Bring him back in the game. I don't know why Mozzie is there. Put Jay Thoya back on the field. I understand it's a learning curve for him, but at the same time, man, I see more energy when Shamar
Yeah,
James is on there out there on the
yeah,
field, with Lua Fowl, So
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe that we might see more of that, but I can say as well that the defense did improve in some areas. I saw a couple of blitz packages that they ran, a couple of man schemes that they ran as well. So, yeah. So maybe we're going to be moving up a little bit higher for the next week game as well, in which I think that's a good game for us to tune up and fine tune everything to get ready for pretty much the second half. You think?
yeah, yeah. I believe so. Most definitely so. And
Yeah.
I saw one play where it was around the goal line where I'm not for sure if it was Houston or James, one of those two guys had made a tackle on Fields and dumped him like a sack of potatoes.
No,
And
that
they
was
played this.
Deron Bland.
Okay,
That was
Deron
Deron
Bland.
Bland.
He dumped him like a sack of potatoes, and played it smart because he could have followed through with it. He just
Yeah, they
don't
let him go. Yeah,
avoid that. That's smart football. I made the tackle. I don't need the flag.
I don't need the flag. So they coming around, man. I mean,
Yeah,
there's some hope. There is some hope, man, and we're just
that's some
going to
hope.
keep our fingers crossed, and hopefully we get our guys back on the field here soon, and we're able to excel and get some more, couple of more wins under our belts, man. But again, man, it was a great win for the Cowboys, a much needed win, 37-22. Dak played lights out. Javonte Williams played lights out. Berge played lights out. We got a chance to look at Jaden Blue. I kind of saw a little
Oh yeah,
nervousness or something, but maybe he'll come along here later. He really looked good on special teams back there at kickoff. I'm like, dang, this kid
yeah.
got
He
speed.
liked the broke one on the run play too. He liked the short loose.
Yeah, yeah. And a big shout out to Ryan Flanoy, man. Ryan Flanoy stepped up and he did exactly what we needed him to do. And big shout out to George Pickens. We cannot forget George
Yeah,
Pickens.
hey,
George
big
Pickens
George.
is that guy. Is
He's
that
that guy.
guy. So, hey, I think we're going to stop right there, man. And we're not going to hold these folks long, man. We got a lot of things going on tonight. We got Monday Night Football going on. We got the Mavericks playing tonight. So, we're not going to hold you any long. Hey, again, like I always say, thanks to all our subscribers and all our followers. Again, like I always say, without you guys, it's totally impossible. Do me a favor, make sure you hit the like button, the notification button, and subscribe. It costs you absolutely nothing. And like I say, continue to stay safe, continue to be blessed. If you don't do nothing else, continue to be kind. And that's our take, and we're out. Deuces.